Alrighty, what's up, guys? Back with another trade recap. Today was a doozy. Anyway, we're in replay mode right now. I'm gonna walk you guys through everything that I saw during the trading day. Showing you my bias, market highs, market lows, different draws and liquidity. Basically walk you through everything. So today we had let's pull this up real quick. We had a little Fed funds rate, FOMC, and of course, Mr. Powell on the press conference talking 2 p.m., 2:30. What does that mean? You could kind of expect some chop in price action just because of the market waiting for some delivery for those three big folders, which is kind of exactly what we got. So anyway, starting the day on the 1 hour, we're at 9:30 right now. I just make sure it's not 1 minute. Marked it out at 9:30 right now, just to show you guys how I kind of marked out my draws. So coming to here, overall, still somewhat bullish. We're digging into this 1 hour gap, which is something to keep in mind. Somewhat bullish. We broke structure a few times to the downside on the 1 hour. On the 4 hour, we definitely look bullish. Regardless, my draw was somewhat lower, especially because of the way the 1 hour was looking. But I was expecting for some kind of buying movements in the beginning, which is kind of what we got. We're gonna see real soon. So the levels that I really marked out the most were this high or this one. Honestly, not to get too greedy. Take this high. This is kind of a twin peak, if you will. And then we have lows down here. And of course, like I said, we're chilling in this 1 hour bullish fair value gap, which I'm not going to keep marked out because it's just kind of ugly. You're just going to see a blue background, but just for you guys to see that, that's where we're chilling in right now. Like I mentioned in the last recap video, replay on trading view is kind of annoying because this candle is fully printed now. So this is showing you like how the 1 hour looked at 10 o'clock, not at 9:30, but you kind of get the idea anyway. So these are the two draws that I marked out. Yeah, that's kind of it. We also have this like tiny 1 hour fair value up here that's we could actually mark that out. So that gives us a pretty decent draw to the upside. All right. Anyway, go to the 5 minute. We see market open up. We get whatever that is. We're just gonna kind of play through this and see where it goes. Yeah. So, what do we even remember this? What is this? Wednesday, right? Is it today Wednesday? Yeah. All right. Interesting. Anyway, keep clicking through. None of this is something that you want to take. We kind of break structure the upside in the 5 minute, but again, this is just straight chop. What time is it now? 9:55. Since we're kind of pulling up here, two things to note. I think this is actually a 15 minute. Yeah, we have a 15 minute fair value gap here, which is kind of what I was worried about. So I wasn't really expecting to pull up to these draws. But we have that, and then this high over here. Oh, shoot. This high over here on the 15 minute, right? But again, I didn't really like this draw, and that's kind of one of the reasons why I didn't take it. I think there was a pretty decent entry to take here. I think this might have been a candle. But if you go to the 1 minute, it's going to be just kind of choppy. Yeah, you're going to keep playing this out. Like, this is not something you want to see here. This could have been an entry, but I think I actually posted this on Instagram. If you took these entries, or you took this entry, you marked out this high here, and stops were down here, let's just say. I think I was going to tap to a 5 minute there. Yeah. So this is actually not a terrible trade, but the chop on the 1 minute and the fact that we're trading into a 15 minute fair value gap was not what I wanted to see. Also, you should be taking this on ES, and that's because NQ is the lagging index. So at ES, this is also another thing, the reason why I didn't take this trade. We're already into this 15 minute fair value gap on ES, right? This is also actually a 1 hour. Yeah, this is also a 1 hour over here. So we're already digging into this on ES and already broke this high. So what are you kind of expecting? A pretty big sell-off when this SMT prints, or if it prints. So that's one of those things that I was very cautious of, and that's why I did take this on ES. And I was kind of just watching MNQ. Let me go back to the 5 minute and just see this kind of play out. So if you were to take this entry right here, 111 ticks, 1.5 RR. Let's just see how this goes. Like that wick is also kind of scary itself. I'm gonna play this out, and that should have been BE right there, the BE of doom. And if you didn't go BE there, you're gonna see this price action's just insane. Yeah, that too, and then that, right? That's enough to tell you not to take this trade. But again, we do break this high though, so now we don't really have an SMT there. So we could remove it if we wanted to. But yeah, this is just not right for me. That's kind of the main reason why I didn't take this trade. It's just the 1 minute looked so choppy. And even the 5, I think. If we go on the 5 minute, yeah, look at this. Just straight wicks. This is not something you want to take. And you kind of like 2 months ago, I would have taken the trade just because, in market context and also this big Drake candle, all things considered, it's not terrible, but if you look at the way we're printing right now, and this price action printing because of all these red folders coming out at 2 and 2:30 p.m., not really something you're looking for. Anyway, close this stuff out because what we're gonna see soon is the sell-off of a century. I don't think we get much higher above these highs. Okay, come on. Can we do something here? I think this at this point, I actually went to take a shower. Right. I kind of closed my computer. I'm like, I'm off for the day. I go to take a shower. I come back and price action is printing down like a motherfucker. Like this is just an insane sell-off. So I missed a really good entry on the 5 minute. I'll show you this here. I go back and select this bar here. So just for context, if you're watching the 5 minute, you have wicks, 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 kind of a struggle to get up to these highs. Entering this 15 minute and 1 hour fair value gap and taking this high, you get a little bit more chop and then just an absolute liquidation, right? This would have been a great entry in the 5 minute. So going to shorts, this tells you a lot about where the market wants to go. This is a very clear confirmation of where the market wants to go. This could be a crazy TP. So down here, even targeting these lows. This is kind of the move you're waiting for in the market. And today was kind of made it late in the day. This was 10:45 was a bit of a late time to make it. But again, I wasn't at my computer when this was happening. So this would have been a great entry. That plays. But on the 1 minute, I'm watching this print now and I kind of miss my entry. So I come back to my computer somewhere down here, right? And we're always sweeping this low. So I'm like, you know what? I'll wait for some sort of retrace. Right. Again, I'm gonna take this away because that plays. You'll see it plays. But yeah, we take this low here. And after trading this model for a while, you kind of get the idea of discretion and context. And you never want to top bang a trade because at any point this could come down. Where's my tool? Hold on. This could come down, price action come down. Let's say a retrace, even if it doesn't, comes down over here, hits this level, and then reverses off that, right? Because we're collecting a lot of liquidity here. There's a lot of sell stops here, and we kind of reverse, right? So what we want to do is wait. Give this print. Okay, there you go. What we want to do is wait for extra confirmation and some sort of pullback to confirm that we're actually going to take out these lows down here. So I saw this printing. I'm like, you know what, this is great, but I'm not going to top bang this. I'm going to wait for some sort of pullback. So on the 5 minute, we have this big boy printing. And I'm staying on the 1 minute here, just seeing for some sort of confirmation, and we get yes, I saw this print. I was just about to execute this order because the first half of this candle, like the first 30 seconds, was just straight down, and then it pulled back. So I kind of left my hands off my computer. I'm like, we're just gonna wait some more. Market wants to take some moves back, collect some liquidity, and then make a move down, right? So we get this move up to collect some liquidity. On the 5 minute, it wasn't anything because this candle didn't print yet. But you can see on the 4 minute, I think, which I don't trade the 4 minute, I don't trade any of this stuff, but actually not even is the 2 minute. Yeah, the 2 minute. I don't really look at that stuff though, but when you're getting this big of a sell-off and this big of a movement, you can't always expect a retrace into a 5 minute, but what you can expect is just a huge sell-off after these like tiny little pullbacks. So on the 1 minute, that's what I was looking for. And next candle, that's exactly what we get. This big boy, big Drake candle printing downwards. So this is where I take my short. Stops. I think I put it at the bodies here, if I'm not mistaken. I might be mistaken. I think that looks right. If not, then I went to the wick, but I think that makes my R negative. I think I just took it to the bodies here. I went in for 15 micros, which I low-key was very confident about this trade. And the reason why is if we go to the 15 minute, this 15 candle printing underneath this fat gap over here, that's almost clear confirmation. There's nothing stopping us from taking these lows at all, right? Even these lows down here. But we kind of made our move already. So that's not a target that we should be looking for at this point. But there's nothing stopping us from taking these lows here. So I low-key would have full ported this if it wasn't for the fact that it was a little late in the day. I kind of missed the majority of this movement by not watching the 5 minute and taking my shower, right? Like I said, this thing just plays. Right? You were shorted right here, absolute fucking banger, right? Break even over here, 472 ticks, huge. Also, you would want to take this on MAQ because that is the lagging index over here. So we took those lows a lot quicker. We're moving a lot faster than ES was. As you can see on this chart, we already broke that low, or here we're kind of still pulling back. Here we're way down. Go to the 1 minute here. All right, so this is where I took my short. Targeted this low, 110 ticks, 1.47 R. All things considered, not a bad trade. We're gonna click through this and see what happens. Next candle prints, absolute banger. I move this shit straight to B. Like that looks great. We're gonna take that low. There's nothing stopping us, right? But the market always has a different plan for you. So we print this candle, which almost made me shit myself. Also, I don't think I have this exactly right because my entry was a little bit higher, so we move this up a little bit. Yeah, it was like a little bit higher just because of market orders. They enter a little bit different. So this wick turned my pants brown. This was actually crazy. And I saw it print all the way down. I'm like, yep, easy. This draw is easy. It's free. Next candle prints. And no, that still didn't scare me too much. And then here we are, the banger, whoopam, break even. I think on this trade I lost just about $7. I think it was $7.50 on the across the 3 accounts. That's because when you're break even, there's always that sort of difference in filling the orders. So when this came up, it filled me a little bit, just a little bit higher than I wanted it to. It wasn't like a perfect break even. So you're gonna have some sort of loss there. But you know what? If I had stopped somewhere here and it took my stops, I would have been significantly more. So break even is an interesting thing for some traders. They don't do it. Reasonably speaking, you have moments like this that also I didn't even play these candles out. Yeah, you have moments like this where it wouldn't have taken me out because my stops were up here and it bangs my TP. So that's again psychology and trading. For me, I always like to protect my positions. If I'm significantly in the green, there's no reason for me to be losing. There's no reason for me to be giving up my winnings over here. So I close at a break even, and if anything happens and I get liquidated, I at least know that I didn't lose money that day, right? Again, that didn't really play out as planned here because I got taken out and then it went for my TP. But what was I gonna say? It happens plenty of times where you could take this trade, it comes down here, you don't set it to be even. Let's just break even. Let's just say you don't set it to break even. Comes up, liquidates your ass, and comes down, and you lose stop loss, or it just completely flips and starts going upwards. Which is highly unlikely in these trades because this low is such an easy grab. There's nothing stopping us from taking this low. So much movement in the market, so much sells coming through, just a massive sell off. Very unlikely, but you get these kind of moments where you go break even, and I kind of missed the majority of the movement, which was up here. Not to say this was a bad entry, it just didn't play. Sometimes it doesn't play. But what I did know for sure, and what I'm happy that I identified was the draw on liquidity. And this is one of those things that you take away is you can't be mad at yourself because you got break even, right? You're not losing money, first thing. Second thing, if you know you executed the trade right, if you followed your trading plan, there's nothing to be mad about, right? Yes, I lost on winnings here. Maybe I would have held out. Maybe I would have made more. The whole point is I identified the draw. I took an entry at the right point. I secured my position. I didn't take any loss, didn't take any drawdown. And I walked away from the trade without anything out of my pocket, right? That's the whole point. So I could walk out of this trade feeling happy, feeling like I've followed my plan. That's kind of it. So that's just about everything that I wanted to cover here. I think there was also a trade. I think I showed everything. That's kind of it. But I think I wanted to mention one more thing. Maybe about shorting. I saw some people try to short or predict the movement. So we tap into this 15-minute, like I was mentioning before. There's actually a 1 hour gap too. So we tap into this 1 hour gap, and I see people trying to predict the shorts here. So they'll see this big candle print downwards and go straight for shorts. What's the issue here? If you look at, I don't know, let's see, the overall market structure on the 1 minute, even the 5 minute, what are we doing? This whole time, straight upwards, right? So why are you taking a trade in the opposite direction, right? The whole point of trading is not to predict the movement, it's to react when a movement is happening. The same reason why I took the trade today. When this is all happening, when this is all selling off, I'm hopping on that train, taking that trade, and taking my profits, right? I'm going where the market wants to go, not fighting it and hoping that it goes in my direction. You are not a whale. You do not own Berkshire Hathaway. You are not these big companies that have billions of dollars in the market. You're not moving it yourself. You're a retail trader or you're a paper trader or whatever you are. You're just watching me trade. You're not moving this market. So you taking this short here is not going to change anything. Market doesn't care about your feelings. It's going to take your ass out and move without you, right? That's always how it is. That's always how it is, and you have to get used to that. So don't trade against the trend. Don't do any of this bullshit. If you see a displacement candle, don't take it against the trend, right? That's fucking stupid. Don't do that. But anyway, I'm getting heated over here. That's kind of all. Everything I wanted to touch up on. Break even today. Can't complain. Not a bad trade. We'll be back for tomorrow. Definitely be passing these accounts though. So thanks for coming. See you guys around.